Welcome back to more coverage of the 2025 D3 College Championships. Men's semifinal, Carleton Chop taking on Clark Bacchus. Done here with Kelsey Percy. I'm Ada Kaliande. Carleton getting a break to start the game. A beat puck into the end zone. Now Lewis and Clark looking to answer back. Just a little bit out of the reach there of Orlando Impus. So this going back to Carleton. Got some discussion
you may not know this.
Go ahead, Kelsey.
You may not know this, but Impus, one of my favorite players to watch of this tournament. Absolutely dynamic. Had the pleasure of watching a game of his back in pool play.
And a quick score for Lewis and Clark. On the board there is Leo Farley. 1-1, tied up early on.
Yeah, if we were going to do a game player to watch, Leo Farley definitely would have been it. Hugely dynamic, athletic playmaker for this Lewis and Clark team, and someone who is definitely going to lead the charge defensively, but then can do that turn and score in isolation.
Both teams trading punches early on. We're tied up at 1 apiece. And as you can see right there on Akshay Bhatia's jersey, the wind blowing, little crosswind action. So both teams are really going to have to snap and get a lot of spin on these throws, or they're going to pop or sail.
Akshay Bhatia and Sam London, who threw the assist on that corner score, both varsity soccer players at Lewis and Clark, playing it both ways with this Frisbee team. Lewis and Clark really happy to have them, and may see some of that athleticism and endurance coming into play here in the semifinal.
So early on, a matchup defensive look for Lewis and Clark. Excellent backfield defense. A sharp inside throw, just a little miscommunication. That one was blading out of bounds the whole way.
Late break opportunity here for Lewis and Clark.
It's like Rivera there on the disc. And Chop setting at an extra defender to help, and someone is going to be open. Someone left unmarked. See a travel called. This will go back.
You'll notice bottom right of your screen, you're seeing Carleton hand off players. Someone going deep, they'll pass it off to another, and then just absorbing cuts as they come under. Very efficient defense.
Yeah, that takes a lot of communication and trust between players, as that one's kept alive. Rivera surveying. Beautiful inside shots here by Bacchus. Rivera, the lefty outside flick into the width of the end zone. A score here for Bacchus, and William Alstrom punches it in there for Lewis and Clark. They take the lead 2-1.
That is a big one for Lewis and Clark. It's going to be interesting, this matchup. There's been a lot of people talking about Middlebury, a lot of people talking about the scholarship program, Davenport, not as much about Lewis and Clark. or this Carleton Chop team, but both of them finding themselves here in the semifinals with a chance to play for the finals. You know, sometimes you don't need the accolades to get yourself in a position to make a name for yourself.
I mean, it goes to show you that, you know, you let your play do the talking. I know a lot of people just are hungry for it, right? They don't want the recognition. They just want to be out there, go out there and prove it and show you. And I believe that's what Lewis and Clark and Carleton Chop have been doing all season.
You know, Atakale, interesting to see how this game goes. We've had a couple chippy games. Actually, a spirit timeout had to be called in the previous Lewis and Clark against Whitman. And curious how much of that carries over into this game, or if the teams have fully been able to reset.
That's a beautiful bid to keep possession alive. Chopper rolling. That was a great grab there from Julian Cagey.
Good spirit shown there. I do appreciate when calls get resolved quickly.
Keeps the momentum going. And the doorstep now, 2 open receivers there. Finally able to catch it and secure the disc. Punching it in there is Graham Gordon.
Gordon and Chop feeling themselves on that one. You don't see it on the camera right now, Atakale, but I just came from those fields, and the wind is blowing strong, gusting between 5 and sometimes up to 15 miles an hour. So these throws, they're having to throw them low. They're having to throw them with, really tight connection. What an incredible grab there. Because the wind is absolutely affecting them as they're going up and down this field.
Well, I believe it. I mean, it's very tough to make these throws. I mean, that last semifinal matchup with Wesleyan and Lewis and Clark, a lot of turns going back and forth in these windy conditions. So you got to just adjust and take your time there with the disc.
A little bit of recap. Carleton Chop took care of business. They were the 7 seed in their pool, but beat out Elon to take the pool. Progressing through the back bracket. Moved their way on up. Defeating Bowdoin, and then now in this Lewis and Clark game.
And some great pressure here by Chop, really pinning Lewis and Clark back on their own end line. There's nothing down the field here for Lewis and Clark. Rolling around. Great swing to the outside, the open handler, and Leo Farley. A lot of switching here from Chop, Kelsey, and it worked out there possibly, but a little discrepancy, might be a foul call.
That's a Panther score. Middlebury 6, Davenport 4.
So seen there the observers discussing. You may know, in order to make a ruling of some kind, observers need to have 90% or better certainty that they have a clear view of the play and a clear understanding of what happened, that they're able to make a very definitive ruling, get things going back quickly.
So disc will remain here with Bacchus. Having trouble, but Impas able to keep possession alive. An inside shot floating and almost able to sky, but the double team, great help to keep possession alive. So Ben Eichel. And a Blady inside shot, Impas. He only needs a few inches off the ground to make that one successful there for Bacchus as they go up 3-2.
Impas been making plays right and left. This is a kind of almost surprisingly athletic team. They're teams that at a glance may look it, but this team plays athletic. They get big in the big moments, and there's not a bigger stage than semifinals and nationals.
And look at the effort here off the initial tip. The concentration to keep that disc alive. It's a big momentum play for Lewis and Clark.
Yeah, Halpern Lang really putting the team on his back there. And again, you'll see the low releases going into this upwind. But also know your receiver.
I know Impas doing an excellent job of getting low and getting horizontal to keep Lewis and Clark up in this game. They take back the lead 3-2.
A little bit of chaos at the front of the stack. Carleton finally clearing the lane.
Thought about a deep shot. You saw the deep cut from the handler space. Good backfield defense on the handler. That was Levi Stahl looking for a stall count.
Bring on the puns, Adekale.
Working it down, the Carleton chop. Inside shot, surgical into the end zone. Delivering there is Jonah Bearer on the finishing touches.
Chop keeps getting it done. They are finding those inside lanes, and I like how they reacted under pressure. Lewis and Clark have a really good coach off of their pull, kind of slowed up any initial pull play or initiating cuts. But Carleton recovered really nicely and just kept marching up the field. But the pressure out of it, you called it out in real time. The pressure on those handle resets was excellent, and if they keep that up, that's going to create opportunities for them in the future. This is Lewis and Clark, of course.
So this is exactly what you wanted here. You're just tuning in this semifinal. Winner goes on to the final of the 2025 D3 College Championships. 3-3 game between Lewis and Clark Bacchus and Carleton Chop. Chop here with the disc. Looking to go on D and get a break.
Thomas Toth there taking the pull. He's actually a native of this Seattle area. Wouldn't be surprised if he's got a bunch of friends and family there to cheer him on, even though he's a Carleton in Minnesota for college.
We have a discussion. I thought that one may have been down, Kelsey.
Rolled up by the observer. We'll get another look at it here. You can see London likes that inside lane.
It was a close one.
It was a close one for sure.
As they say in the great world
Don't
of sports,
say it. Don't say it.
Ball don't lie.
Don't say it.
Chop also trying to get the disc back. And I stand corrected. Quick turn going back the other way on the goal line. Lewis and Clark with a gift going back their way.
You know what, Akale? I loved the space. I loved the space. I think it just had a little bit too much heat. Remember, that's downwind. And like that corner is the most downwind spot of any place on the field.
Excellent pressure from Chop. Looking to pin Bacchus back in their own end line. Deep shot goes up. This one's going to float the whole way. Some jerseys going back into the fray, and a roofing there for Bacchus, and another one into the end zone. What a series of fortunate events for Lewis and Clark, and they're amped up as they go up 4-3.
You know, nothing like a couple mishap throws to put the athleticism of Leo Farley out on display. Take another look at this series. Farley gets up, skies. Quick pass goes high, Impus up, skies, toss. Farley has to lay out to keep it. And he is hyped. Not how they drew it up, but it sure gets the job done.
It broke, don't fix it. Bacchus doing an excellent job of just rolling with what's happening there on the field, right? And I think a lot of teams, especially when they're on this national stage, playing in a game that really matters, they get so distracted if, you know, whatever they execute or planned out, the coach drew up, doesn't work, right? It's about handling the things that you can't kind of handle out there on the field. You just got to go out there and play, and it worked out there for Lewis and Clark. Having trouble on the senior side, going to have to boost it. Gets picked out of the air. Break opportunity here for Bacchus.
You can hear it from the sidelines. Value it. But these fields soaked in rain for the last 2 days, maybe just a little too slick under the feet.
Carleton trying to make something happen. That stack is a little spread out. Looking to go small ball. And a turn for Chop, a miscommunication in the backfield. This back to Bacchus.
Andrew Ye, I think, looking to connect. And just cuts not there. That's going to happen. And this is the pressure of the moment out of Cali. This is the big stage.
A tangle with the disc, but it will remain with Bacchus. That's incredible. Keep possession alive. Stall, and another catch in the end zone. One-handed stab from Max Zerwin. Break for Bacchus.
Zernstall putting their athleticism on display. Holy cow, this Lewis and Clark team They must have heard me say not the most athletic or something to the effect, because they are just laughing in my face right now. But just one massive athletic play after another. Color me impressed.
They're doing an excellent job, I think, of feeding off each other, right? We always talk about how Ultimate is a game of momentum. And when you see your teammates make huge plays on the field, it just continues. That momentum keeps rising. It just becomes like an Energizer bunny. Everyone gets juiced up from that. And you can see that here on the field so far.
As Ruin and Stahl will stay on the field, keeping a little bit of that juice with them, but bringing some fresh legs on as well.
Carleton trying to move the disc down this near sideline, gaining some momentum. A great job of just continuing to roll with the force. As punching it in, there is Julian Cagey.
What a buttery, smooth possession there. And, you know, a little citizenship showing and putting the cone back where it was supposed to be. I love that. But take another look at this series. Break side, just cruising on down the field. Beautiful timing.
And that looks smooth there from Chop. We always talk about how if they're not really taking anything from you defensively and you've got that open throw, go for it. You know, keep the momentum going. Don't think twice about it. Bacchus opening up the field now, working their way down. Some give and goes back and forth up ahead. Keeping possession alive is Impus. The Scuba over the top, able to work out, dropping a dime in the bucket to Ben Eichel.
That is such a cheeky look. That is such a cheeky look. I love that. You know, just good movement down the field. And then when things slow down just a little bit, the defense kind of contracted toward the front end zone line. Surveys, sees the defense kind of fronting and just goes pop over the top. Look, 3 defenders in a wall right there, but gave it just enough. Look at Eichel.
Yeah, that little double helix there at the end, just blading perfectly into Eichel's hands. Such a savvy throw there from Impus. So 6-4 is our score currently here in this men's semifinal. Winner gonna take on the winner of the other semi in Middlebury and Davenport.
Nice give-go action from Carleton, keeping momentum. and they almost kept the momentum through the call.
Yeah, I've noticed we've gotten a lot of happy feet, I would say. A lot of travels not being called, but a dime ball, too open in the end zone. There is Dashiell Brenner.
Dashiell Brenner zooming for the score. You know, Adekale, we've had a lot of very tempestuous, contentious matches so far, especially in the men's division. By comparison, this is absolutely mild, and that might be a conscious decision to not call like tiny nitpicky calls and save it for the things that really matter.
That's fair. I also love that because, I mean, it creates, like you said, flow and momentum, makes a much smoother game to watch and call, especially for folks watching at home for the first time, or, you know, just turning on to see nationals. You want the smoothest style of ultimate.
Well, Adekale, let's talk about travel specifically. One way to think about it, if it's an in momentum movement and they take one extra step, that's super nitpicky. If they've established their pivot and the mark is on and there's a travel there, that I would call, right? Very different situations.
Oh, yeah, I completely agree. I mean, it's one thing to start moving and, you know, just try to catch your steps. Another thing to start moving down the lane like 3 or 4 feet like you're playing in the NBA. So it's definitely an egregious call, and I'll obviously hate to call it while playing, but I think everyone's doing a good job of playing through. It's Farley directing traffic, needs a reset. High release, backhand over the top, freeing up some space. And perhaps an injury here on the field, some contact.
We're seeing really good, intense, shutdown handler D from both teams, really ramping up the pressure. This is exactly what you want to see in a semifinal. Adekale, remember Sam London, the player with the disc, also a varsity soccer player for Lewis and Clark, and currently one of the star athletes on that team as well.
That's got to be such a huge thing to have some kind of versatility and just players who are able to play multiple sports, and there's a diverse background to your team.
We talk about how soccer field vision translates so well to ultimate, but the conditioning too to a long tournament like this one.
And an open cut into the end zone. Punching in there is Jonas Bray, giving Bacchus the lead, 7-5.
First time we've really said Jonas Bray's name so far this broadcast, but Bray has had some really impactful plays. That one, cruise control by comparison, but someone with a real nose for the end zone, and who is capable of some pretty phenomenal layout bids. Keep your eyes out for Jonas Bray.
So 7-5 is your score. Games to 15. Bacchus one away from taking us to half. Carleton looking to answer back and cut into this lead a point at a time. And Kelsey, that's probably one of the things you gotta love about the sport of ultimate. The animated sidelines. You see who really comes out and supports their squads and really just brings energy into the game. Makes it a fun atmosphere to be a part of. Carleton looking to run, working down the line, and this one was too low of a release point. This one goes straight to the grass.
You know what, Akali, I was about to say, so far a lot of parity in this game, only one break, but it feels like Lewis and Clark are earning more opportunities so far this game. Their pressure just converting a little bit more.
Some contact, could be a foul in the backfield. And it's not to say, Kelsey, that Carleton isn't playing pretty stout and tight defense. It just hasn't resulted in any breaks.
See a little bit of communication, some disagreement, perhaps from Kaji on whether or not that was a foul. It looks like it will be ruled a contest and the disc will go back.
Deep shot, kind of a bailout look put up. Completed to Zerwin.
Turned a high stall situation into a prime opportunity.
Bacchus, kind of a small ball in the backfield. This one with OI looking for Zerwin, and he's able to corral it. Number 7 scoring goal number 8 in the break for Bacchus, 8-5.
Whirring climbs the ladder there to take it to half. This Lewis and Clark team just putting their athleticism on display. And I love these inside shots, but look at the angle of this one. Remember, the wind's coming from that corner. It's gonna pick it up, keep it up there, but he high points it and brings it down.
So with that one, Zoran taking us into the half. Lewis and Clark up 8-5 here over Carleton Chop. We'll be back here with second half action.
Get the ultimate news you need to know with the Deep Look podcast. I'm Charlie Eisenhood.
And I'm Keith Rayner, and together we bring the games, names, and moments in Ultimate to your podcast feed. We talk Ultimate's biggest news from on and off the field about and with the people making it.
And every week, we go live on YouTube. Come join the fun, the trivia, the picks, the analysis, and more Tuesdays at noon Eastern Time.
We'll see you there.
But you're not for me. I can't sleep lately. I'm just trying to find peace. Classic melodies. I just wanna be free. I'm sorry, darling. I can't breathe. There's no room for us. There's no room for us. I said, darling, can you see? There's no room for us. There's no room. Now our lives are changing. Promises keep slipping. And I'm always you. It wasn't you. It wasn't you. Now our lives are changing. Promises keep slipping. And I'm always you. It wasn't you. It wasn't you. And she said, boy, saw it coming from a mile away. Not as sleek as you think. DMs early in the AMs. I'm not Becky from the street. All this time, baby, our love was so deep. You can't sleep lately, but what about me? I'm sorry, darling, I can't breathe. There's no room for us. There's no room for us. I said, darling, can you see? There's no room for us. There's no room. Now our lives are changing. Promises keep slipping. And I'm always you. It wasn't you. It wasn't you. Now our lives are changing. Promises keep slipping. And I'm always you. It wasn't you. It wasn't you.
As we welcome you back here to the 2025 D3 College Championships, the men's semifinal between Carleton Chop and Lewis Clark. Bacchus up 8-5. Joined here with Kelsey Percy, Ada Kaliande. 3-point advantage for Bacchus. Carleton with some high spirits, looking to battle back here on O. Kelsey, what do you think it's going to take for them to cut into this lead?
You know, I think holding steady under pressure, minimizing any errors on their end. But they really need to focus on exerting, and there's the errors right there.
That's not going to help them, Kelsey. Now a hammer, one-legged, dropping it right on a platter for number 7, Max Zworen. Bookends.
Thurin having a banger of a game. He's got a D. He's got 2 goals. Just coming up big for Lewis and Clark on the big, big stage. Take another look at this. Give-Go came from the handle space. Farley watches him and then hits out to the far corner. No defense, no contest.
Yeah, got to go reward the guy that got you the D in the possession in the first place. Zoran leaving his impact and mark on the game. Gives them a 4-point advantage. Looking to cause more damage, Kelsey.
Absolutely, but I also love that, like, handler ejection. When you leave that shallow space and attack the opposite corner, it's so powerful because the defender is still thinking like handler defense. They're still thinking small spaces. They're not thinking get behind you. And so it just takes a minute. It's the most open you'll ever be.
Nothing down the field here for Chop.
Continual pressure from Bacchus. Love that almost foot block there. A couple throws back.
Yeah, Chop doing a better job of moving that disc, not staying stagnant. So pick is called. On the doorstep is Carleton. Looking for the open cut on the end line. And into the corner of the end zone, punching it in, Jonah Bear.
Zoot scoot score. Tell you what, both teams taking advantage of this break side corner, and it's also, let me tell you strategically, the best corner to score in terms of the wind. It's still there, it's still gusting, you can kind of see things moving in the background. Yeah, look at this change direction. The defense is committed over towards the left of your screen. You just get outside of them, no way to make a play.
Yeah, that's a good point, Kelsey. That kind of switching the widths of the field, switching sides, and the flow of the momentum with the wind gives you the opportunity to get that leverage you need going across the field. It makes it really hard for defenders to catch up. Even the fastest defenders can't get a hand or get to that space.
A couple seconds ago, we had the sideline from Carleton Eclipse women's team cheering their fellow men's team on here at D3.
This ball just landing inbounds. Defense already set up. Having to go backwards.
Panthers turnover in the deep look. Man's going back to pick up for the pranksters.
We have a pick call. Immediate deep shot sent to Impas on his horse and wide open in the end zone. Too easy there for Bacchus.
Impas has absolute jets on his heels. You know, I had seen Farley clear out of that shallow space. I thought he might be going deep, but then I saw the classic headband and thought, who else? Impas scooting for the score. Lewis and Clark just in control, pouring on the pressure, pouring like it's easy. You know, Adekale, you asked me a little earlier I think what adjustments Carleton might make, I'd love to see some flat marks with like some poaching off of the other handles to clog up those lanes. I'd love to see them put more pressure and take away some of these bigger looks that Bacchus has been connecting on.
That's a good point. And I mean, that one, that was I've practiced with you more. I know what we're going to do kind of throw. Immediately on the tap in, just sending it deep. That's something they've done for years.
Well, and when you've got wind at your back, an easy throw becomes even easier. You just set it out there, you let it coast and carry. I appreciate that he didn't overthrow in this.
In trouble. That one is intercepted. Bacchus looking to run short field. Floating in the area, and good help on the backside by Brenner.
Bacchus did a really good job of jumping the lane to get that opportunity, but their shot on goal too hasty. And I love that Brenner was there to clean up the trash.
Brenner seems to be getting every other here for Chop. As they're trying to score, pushed out to the back of the end zone. Going to have to lay out for this one. And just outside the outreach arms of Kaji.
A little slow to get up. It doesn't look like he's injured. I think just committed so hard to that opportunity. That'll be a tough one. Carleton may want that one back.
Some contact, so maybe just a little slippage. Deep shot ripped. Going down the line, floating 3 white jerseys in the area, and it's ripped out of the sky.
Stahl says, that one's mine. Stay back, Farley.
Cutting open once again is Stahl, I believe. Took him 2 attempts, but is able to secure it. Another break there for Bacchus.
Stahl giving it all. Gets the big catch. Then gets the 1-2 catch in the end zone for the score. Again, just so impressed with the athleticism of this Lewis and Clark team. They're getting up big when it matters. And they're also putting multiple bodies in a place to make plays when it counts. I will say I don't like how far downfield Stahl already was when this was released. I think that's what makes it a jump ball, but maybe just confidence that the players can jump. One way to play.
Yeah, I mean, Stahl ripped it out of his own teammates' hands in Farley, so a lot of confidence if you're able to do that.
Yeah, but you see the Frisbee bounce there out of Carlo. Remember, that's your upwind side. It actually absolutely caught the underbelly of that disc. Almost made that a turn, but great focus there from Stahl to keep it in play and get the score. So Carleton kind of reeling. I want to see heads up from them. I want them to forget that point, play the next. That's the toughest thing. But when you're down 5 in the semis, that's tough. Love the energy their sideline is bringing. That's exactly what they need.
Still animated there on the sideline, trying to keep the spirits up and urge their team to cut into this lead of Bacchus.
Not to be confused with Carleton Pet. One of the things I love about this Carleton team, this is part of their culture. They're known to have songs. They're known to have jokes. They have this high energy. You know, that's part of what makes D3 great, is just this overwhelming positive energy from so many teams and the willingness to play hard and play with each other.
Big backhand put down the line and completed. A great effort. It looks like Andrew there with the score.
And I love the angle on that disc. Remember, there's wind there. It had to cut through it, but that made it slice down just in the hands. Watch this again. Fakes, looks, power position, knows the throw he wants, steps out, angles it almost too much, but has enough sauce on it. Farley can't make a play, just drops into Gay's hand.
So getting one back on the board. Chop, they're down 4, game to 15. That's a good little momentum booster their way. Let's see if they can go on a run of their own.
You can hear the Chop sideline.
Nothing down the field, having trouble. And great pressure from Chop. Short field now looking to take advantage.
I love that fast break mentality. Picked up the disc, immediately got it moving. The defense still not fully set, trying to adjust. This is a prime opportunity. They really need this one. Slow count rising though.
Nothing in that front end line. Good end zone defense from Bacchus.
Bacchus almost doing a forced middle here. Love it.
And towing the line, getting the getting the break there. That's huge, Kelsey.
Huge, absolutely monstrous. And Lewis and Clark did a really good job. It took multiple throws, 7 or 8 to get it through that wall of defense. Chop stayed super patient, swinging, and then when that lane opened up, the timing just lasered it into that front cone. That's a fantastic break.
A little momentum going towards Carleton's way. They're down 3, scoring the last 2.
Yeah, if I'm Carleton, I want to take that energy. I want to roll it into the next point. You know, I want to pour on the pressure and make Lewis and Clark start to falter a little bit. So that's kind of the question. But the best response to a big break like that is to just score in 1 or 2 throws. Confident, no problem, just get the job done.
Say nothing more back-breaking, Kelsey, than getting a break, pulling it, and then immediately getting beat on a deep.
See if Lewis and Clark agrees with me.
Impus throws up a blading throw and picked up off the ground. That is incredible. Are you kidding me, Bacchus?
We have seen some circus throws today out of college, but that one might take the cake. I was so confused when that shot grew up. But it's this mentality that Lewis and Clark has, is just putting as many bodies as possible within a position to make a play. And I truly believe it's systems. Watch Farley, watches, follows, and then the focus to make that, immediately gets up, looks for a receiver, And before the defense even knows what's happening, Bacchus score.
Just when you thought the momentum was slowly moving towards Carleton, Bacchus does something incredible like that and gets themselves on the board once again, adding to their lead back up to 4.
Lewis and Clark starting to get within striking range of closing this game out. And this is one of those situations where you can't think about it. You can't think about winning. You can't think about the end of the game. You just have to play the point ahead of you.
Having trouble. Some contact.
You know, interesting, I think Zwerwin could have called a pick there, instead just kind of forcing his way through traffic, kind of laughs about it, and stays downfield.
Still working. Approaching the end zone now, our Chop. Couple of give and go throws in the backfield.
You know, it's interesting. Brenner made a cut towards that backspace. Big Scoober.
Just bobbled. Good defensive presence there in the backfield.
You know, and it's tough because you have to feel almost like Lewis and Clark has made its own luck, because how many of those bobbles have they come up with this game?
Great opportunity. Another deep one put up. We got 2 jerseys there. Number 7 and swerving there, but a good denial. Nathan Long.
Long pumped to get that one, and he has every right to. That was a massive D. Carleton needing to value this. They're in there half
Long
the field.
putting it into the corner and dropping it down. Alex Grant able to get it there for Carleton Chop.
Out of college, what's the name when you get the D and you throw the assist? It's not bookends. Book ups? I don't know. Should be something. But that's a great throw with touch into that nasty corner. Remember, that's downwind with a crosswind. And he sets it out to space, but with just enough touch that his receiver, Alex Grant, doesn't run out of room.
That's a great question. We should really get someone to coin a phrase for that. Got me thinking over here.
Yo, if you're in the Discord watching this game, let us know. What's that called? What do you call that in your area, in your region, your program? You get the D, you get the assist. Ultiworld might even give you credit.
So it's a 12-9 contest. Chop down 3. Winner moves on to the final of the 2025 D3 College Championships.
Panthers turnover on the deep look. Max Rogers going back to pick up for the Pranksters.
Some contact as Farley was racing back to catch the disc. Let's hope both parties are okay.
Tyler Shanahan with a takeaway. A quick drop into the end zone for Colin Hill, and the Panthers score. Middlebury 13, Davenport 10.
So as you hear an update on the other semifinal, Middlebury up 13-10 over Davenport. Colin Hill just scoring it over there for Davenport.
Adekale, little unclear. I want to say Farley just got that yellow card for coming into the defender to make that play. We'll have to get some clarification after this.
And a quick timeout from Chop. Is Impus not able to toe the line on that catch on this near sideline? So a break opportunity now for Carleton. They can get within 2.
You know, and just a second ago, they were down, 4 with the chance of 5. This feels a lot better. This could be a big swing. You just have to keep fighting.
Rowan Jamison on the pull for the Panthers.
So take a second look at that last play between Resnick and Farley. Farley catches it, and Resnick.
That's a lot of contact.
That's a tough one, Kelsey, because the throw that led to that catch, right, was put up. Resnick had no idea it was in the area, and then he kind of continued his momentum. Farley went back into it to catch it, and they collided after the fact. I understand about the contacts a lot, but I feel like that should just be a play on. I mean, both players are entitled to the space. It's just unfortunate contact.
Yeah, that's interesting. We'll definitely ask for some clarification, see what we can get. But very glad both players are safe and not injured. A lot of contact, and I think especially the mid-air contact is tough. When you can't absorb it, there's nowhere to go. You can't change your direction.
So short field for Chop, looking to capitalize on the turnover.
And you'll notice Lewis and Clark flashing, pretty much always going somewhat flat, but there I think going too far opens up the lane across the field. Chop here right on the goal line. This is a big one. They're not there yet, but they could punch it in right here.
Long surveying. Needing help. And just taking his eyes off the disc is Garcia.
With a little frustration from Chop, there were a couple open cuts, but not in the same timing when the handler was looking for them. And I love this choice by Lewis and Clark to go all the way downfield. Yes, it was a little late, but it gets them out of their own end zone and means that Chop has to go all the way.
And another denial back the other way. Back and forth we go here in this semifinal. Both teams laying on the line here in this last point.
I'm wondering if fatigue's starting to make a play. I'm seeing a lot of congestion and kind of a lack of clearing, but no lack of effort from Farley.
Farley making plays left and right. Bacchus continuing their momentum down this near sideline. And run through D, I believe that is Resnick getting his hand on the disc.
Resnick exerting really good pressure on Farley. That throw, not unreasonable, and one that probably should have been taken, but just close enough Farley couldn't accelerate to run through it. Resnick with a fantastic bid to give Chop another chance to break. You know what, Akale? It is so tough if you're Chopped. You're in this situation. You want to punch it in, you want to score, but you need to be patient. It's this balance of urgency and systems.
Rake's coming at a premium so far in this game. He's really got to take possession, take pride in possessing the disc. Downfield here from Bacchus is stifling. Now trying to blade over the top. Impus racing, but not fast enough. As Danny Shope able to race onto that one and score and get the break for Chop.
That was a beautiful throw to space. I think good recognition by Impus to try and get the help D, but also respect to Impus. He could have thrown himself at that disc, possibly made a play, but not without it being dangerous. Instead diverts, goes behind Carleton with the score.
Middlebury Pranksters 15, Davenport Panthers 11. Pranksters on to the finals.
Another look at that D on Farley, and just look at this.
Great game, everybody.
Inside lanes, they've been getting them all day. And then just a quick release out to space. That's a gorgeous shot.
So we just have confirmation that Middlebury moving on to the final, winning 15-11 over Davenport. So the winner of this game will face the Pranksters.
Over on field 12. Turns for Lewis and Clark 12, Carleton 10.
Out of color. If I'm in these moments, you know, if you're Carleton, you've got to ride this energy. You're within 2. This is close. You're right there. It's kind of nothing to lose. I would probably load up a line right now and just throw it and try and get that one more. You don't have a lot of time, and you don't have that much margin, because if Lewis and Clark goes up 13, they've already proven they can break. They love the chaos and the energy their D-line gets. You want to keep it with their O-line. You want to keep riding this train.
Keep the pressure on. Chop trying to make something happen defensively. Farley having trouble. Very close to a high stall count. An air-bending throw to open it up on the zone. An OI flick into the corner. Another score there for Max Rurin. 13-10 Bacchus.
You know what, Akali? We talked about it earlier. Best response to a break. An easy score.
Offense there for Lewis and Clark, coming in and doing their job, scoring. They're 2 away from going on to the final and playing Middlebury.
Right now, Lewis and Clark, this is a big one. They're 2 away. They're not there yet. Carleton still nipping at their heels. But again, they've put good pressure on. They've had several breaks. If they get one more, it puts them within 1 of the finals. What can they generate?
Good job of keeping that one up, Bacchus.
Good poise there from Carleton. Disc getting swiped at, but they're hitting hands and staying focused. Love this quick give-go motion that they're doing.
Keeping the disc moving. It's been really beneficial here for Chop's offense.
And you can see the strategy adjustment too. Lewis and Clark doing pretty flat marks. Not entirely, but pretty flat, and it's something where you can't play your traditional lanes. You have to attack different spaces, and look at them. They're feigning out to the inside, outside, and then carving in. Watch them. They go outside in, outside in. Carleton very clearly has practiced this.
There's Guerra with the finishing touches. Probably one of the smoothest points we've seen from Chop this whole game on offense. 13-11 is your score.
Carleton taking care of business.
13, Carleton 11.
Beautiful diving grab there to keep the disc in play. Kaji's been doing all kinds of work for this team. He's had some big efforts. But again, look, outside, fakes it, moves the mark, hits inside. Looks inside, goes outside. And it's how you get around. You've got to move the mark to the side, and because with the flat mark, the defense technically has to guard both sides, you're just trying to move. It means you can get some mismatches in some open spaces.
Smart read, smart offense there for Carleton. Now they've got to go back on the defensive end and get one back. Pinned in their own end zone, dangerous territory. Having trouble, needing a reset. Impus striking up line.
Close quarters, but Lewis and Clark makes it out. But Carleton really putting a stranglehold, making these tough throws for Lewis and Clark handlers. And nothing looked there, but I don't know that I saw anything. Not a call, are you?
No, it just looked like a tangling of feet, losing their footing. Didn't really look too dangerous. Farley directing traffic back across their own end line.
And you can see Bacchus really wanting those inside lanes. They want to go break side.
Farley rears back, sends one deep. He's got a wide open receiver. And coming out of nowhere with a big time denial to Momi Perry. Are you kidding me? That was nasty.
Absolutely Eichel was so deep, all alone, so deep, and Perry made up yards of space to get that deep.
Now looking for Ron the other way, able to complete it. On the doorstep, looking to punch it in.
This would be a double break,
Release
and it
quick.
is!
Huge momentum booster for Chop as they get a break. They're down within one. Resnick punching it in.
Carleton just riding a massive high here. They were down 4, now within 1. And this is where, if you're Bacchus, you load up a line. But look at that again. Eichel didn't wait, went up high point, but the makeup effort, the acceleration, and then Carleton just with the dagger to the heart, the deep throw, big effort, and the poise from Nick Wang. Take a deep breath, make a good throw. This is excellent from the Carleton Chop.
Now we've got a game, Kelsey, 1-point game. Who wants it more? On the line, a spot in the finals.
And
I
another
guess
incredible
Chop
team.
wants it more. Short field now for Carleton. Up ahead into the end zone for another break as we're tied up at 13 apiece.
Tied up, and the clock doesn't matter. They've still got 24 minutes. This game's gonna go all the way to 15. Holy cow, Otakala. When we were at half, did you think this is where we would be?
Kelsey, no. Not a doubt in my mind that I think we would be here. But I'm glad we are now. I mean, what a game we've had on our hands. This is what it's all about here in the D3 College Championships here in the semifinal.
I love it. I love the swagger. I love the decision by Wang to go scuba there. You know, it gets over the defense, but then sits in to his player. This is incredible. And you can see the sidelines just electric. Lewis and Clark has to be just staggering right. But they have to let go of that point. They have to play this one right here. They have been in control for all of this game. They have not been down since the start of this game. Are they going to let the first lead to Carleton start here, or do they hold?
Pull sent away into the end zone. A bobble to start.
You can see the effectiveness of the defense that Carleton just played in that hesitation, waiting for the defense to settle so they couldn't do the throw.
Inside around. High stall count, dangerous throw. Impus will now send it down the field and skying up in the air, securing it is Warren. 14-13 Bacchus.
Playmaker to playmaker. They have been absolute money for Bacchus. That's the response they needed. You steady the ship, you get your D-line out there.
No hesitation there from Impus. So someone's down there on the deep end, and I believe it's my boy Max Zoran. He's got it the whole way.
So this is a big one. And you're going to see Lewis and Clark absolutely load up a line. They would love to finish it on D. And look who they'll try out. London crossing over. Farley crossing over. Wagner's out there. Looks like they'll have stall too. This is going to be a fun one.
Wagner sends the pull away. Chop trying to answer and tie us up at 14.
You can hear the sidelines. D up, D up. Urging Lewis and Clark on, but Carleton there with the cheers also. Like a little confusion over positioning and possibly a pick.
So discs remain there with Andrew Ye. Chop rolling down the far sideline. And back toward D coming into the fray. Oh my goodness, Sam London.
Almost a comic play. London, mid-apology for the contact he had initiated, is then in perfect position to make the D.
Break chance here for Bacchus. A spot in Nationals. The final on the line.
Stack a little deeper than I'd like to see them, and also a little stagnant.
Continue down this near sideline.
Utter poise from Zwerod.
Farley having trouble.
Almost like a late.
This one floating. This one floating again. Caught between two defenders. The pump fake. And who else but Max Warren to punch things off in the end zone. Bacchus to the finals. 15-13.
Playmakers gonna make plays. Farley elevates once again, and the poise to wait to fake out the defender, knowing that once he bids, he's got an open lane to Zwerod. You can see the elation, the celebration, a big one for this Lewis and Clark team, and they will be facing Middlebury, who they have already faced before in this tournament. Middlebury took them 15-9 previously. Can they change future? Will Middlebury tie them up again? This is going to be incredible, Adekale. What a final. What a semifinal.
An amazing semifinal indeed. Lewis and Clark Bacchus coming out on top 15-13 as they move on to the final to take on Middlebury Pranksters. Thanks for staying tuned on this one. On behalf of the whole crew, Kelsey Percy, I'm Adekale Ande. Thanks for watching the semifinal. Finals action coming at you right here on Ultiworld. Stay tuned.
Okay, club captains, let's review. Get tryout location secured? Check. Plan tournament schedule? Check. Get started on our amazing roster announcement? Definitely check. But what about jerseys this season? I saw the PUL and WUL are using
electric
this
to
year,
the best
and we can get free
semifinal.
reversibles and 5-panel hats at breakmark.com. So that's easy. One more check on our list. Okay, next order of business. Who's going to control the team playlist this year?